everyone, I'm Lily, and War of the Spark just came out, and there's lots of channels doing, lots of, top 10 lists, and I'll have my top 10 Commander Cube later, but I thought I would do the most important list, because, as you know, I am extremely gay, and I would also like to come out right now as a bottom. So this is my top 38 girls in War of the Spark who I want to top me. There are only 38 girls in War of the Spark. I only went with cards with people in it, so it's mostly just creatures, planeswalkers, like in instant sorcery, like Rush Rally of Wings has some female angels in there, but I didn't include that. Also one that has in one's creatures that are a group shot, if there's one dominating figure, then I do that one. But the one that's all the people upset because people have died, it has women in it, but it's not just that. I didn't include that. But yeah, full disclosure, just trigger warning. I will talk about sex a little bit, not much. We'll be talking about the bedroom. I can't really talk about girls I want to top me without talking about the bedroom a little bit, but it's not going to be explicit. But if you are sensitive to that, just know that I will be touching on that. It's a bit more, yeah, girls are really cute and really hot, and there's a lot of really hot girls in the set. This was a hard list to put together. I spent more time than I'd like to admit on this list, but yeah. Also, while I'm doing this, I'm going to be knocking out 2 birds in 1 stone. I'm also going to be doing my nails. Not for any reason, but mostly just to knock out 2 birds at 1 stone. I mean, I'm having to do this anyway. I'm gonna have to wait afterwards for it to render, and that's time for it to dry, and it forces me to wait for that. So, yeah. I've already cleaned my nails, and like that, I still need to push back the cuticles and stuff and file them a little bit. But I'm just doing this very plain. I'm going for a very natural look. I'm actually going to have a whole get ready with me video coming out probably the next video I put out, or maybe the one after that, with a new outfit I put together, which I'm really excited about. I haven't really done that sort of video before, but I'm excited about it. But I am going for a bit more of a natural look with my nails, so I am just going to be applying some nail strengthener and then just some top coat to keep the color, but give it just that sheen that I want, to make it look natural, but nice that I actually took care of my nails. So the girls. I didn't really have any major criteria, mostly just girls I would want to top me in the bedroom, which if you don't know what that means, I don't want to be the one to explain it to you, so look it up yourself. Let's just jump right into it. I've divided it up into 6 categories, and the first one is small, and these are girls that I absolutely would not mind dating. They're adorable and cute, but they absolutely are not tops, and I don't really want them to top me. It just wouldn't work. It would just end up being really awkward, but they're amazing and cute, and I'd totally be down for that, and just not that sort of way. So first up we have, let's turn you on, Tamio. Tamio's adorable, and nothing against her, and honestly I think I can move her into the category with one I'll mention later, but she does give off a lot of just she's married, she has kids, and you know what, good for her, I'm happy for her, she's amazing and adorable, but no, I'm just sorry. And because if you actually look at the story, she actually is actually very kind of domineering and stuff like that, which is good and we're looking for, but in a very more patronizing motherly way, and I am not looking for that. So sorry, Tamio. Next up is Nissa. Nissa, you're so sweet, but Nissa isn't really big into physicality and things like that, so it just wouldn't work, because it's totally valid to people who are not really comfortable being valid, even if they're romantic partners and stuff. But I am a very physical person when I'm with someone. Like, I love just holding hands and like cuddling and stuff like that, and it just wouldn't work. I'm sorry, Nissa, but you were too sweet and innocent. You're awesome. And finally, Sahili. She's sweet, she's nice. But again, like, she's just like, it doesn't do it for me, like, for like I would not, and definitely just falls something where like, I would not mind dating her. I wouldn't mind getting to know her and all that, but just like I don't want her to top me. Like, I don't know. It's more, it would be more mutual thing, I guess. There's some other ones that could like fall into that category, especially when I get to the middle category, which is just acceptable. But the name characters and like how they are in their story, and I have a bit more context for them, it just makes it it's fine. So, the first section we're going to be talking about is the no category. Absolutely not. Never want to be anywhere near them, much less in a romantic or sexual relationship with them. We're going to start off with Grainful Apparition. Yeah, A, you're a ghost. B, you don't look so good. You look very old, and you're dead. And also you're a ghost. And like, sure, you're high-fiving Kaya, but she is like the only person who can high-five ghosts. So, sorry, Grainful Apparition, I'm not interested in you. It just wouldn't work in any way. Next up is Naga Eternal, and really a stand-in for all the Eternals. There's lots of ambiguous Eternals that they could be a girl, but it's not really clear. This one we only know because of the flavor text. I'm not really into, dead people, especially when they have a nice, candy coating to them. That doesn't improve it, especially when they seem hellbent on murdering everyone. So, yeah, sorry, no Naga Eternal at all. Next was God Eternal Oketra. A lot of the same reasons. It's slightly above Naga Eternal because it's like, you do have that like more commanding presence and you have that stuff like there, but still, it is firmly in the no category. It is more, but not much more appealing. It's just, you're a giant zombie cat who's also a god and also like 4 stories tall. So no. Vraska's Finisher. I'm not a big Gorgon person. I gotta say, the snake hair really creeps me out with Gorgons. It's, I don't find it, like, alluring and sexy. It's just kind of creepy. And, she doesn't seem like... Vraska's on there too, and Vraska's a little bit higher up because she's a bit more of a commanding presence. This is just an underling. She doesn't look to have the best hygiene. And just overall, like, I'm sorry, Vraska's Finisher. It's not gonna work out. I don't really want to touch you. I'm sorry. Guild Pact Informant. It's too small. Like, someone that size cannot... I would not be able to take a top who is a foot tall. Seriously, I don't care how good their personality is or stuff. It's just like, you're a foot tall. It's not gonna work. I'm sorry. Jaya, Venerated Fire Mage. 2 reasons. 1, you're way too, like, yes, there are some people on the higher up on the list who are, like, old enough to be, like, yeah, put off, but, like, for other reasons, but, like, you look a bit too old. Like, I don't mind older women, and, like, I see that happening, but she's kind of gone past that point. Also, I don't... As someone who's been to Ballard, the neighborhood of Ballard, I can never take Jaya Ballard seriously, because she is named after the neighborhood of Ballard in Seattle. And, Ballard is also kind of like the butt of a lot of jokes, like, in the area. Like, there used to be an old TV show and like a comedy show, in like the 90s called Almost Live, which was just like a local sketch comedy show. And, yeah, they made fun of Ballard a lot, and it's just like a bunch of old Scandinavian people. I mean, that's a stereotype. But, yeah. I'm sorry, I just can't take you seriously. Jai Ballard, like time spiral block Jai Ballard? Ooh, yeah, I'm much more into that, but not now. Sorry. Next up, this is the next category, which is not the flat no and more I would avoid highly. And first up, we have Massacre Girl. I don't really want to die. I gotta say, of all the guilds, the Rakdos is probably my second to least favorite, after the Orzhov capitalists. Yeah, it's just, she doesn't seem like she would really, like, respect your safe words or things like that. Like, if she wasn't, like, caked in blood, I guess she could be really kind of cute, but no. She isn't the build I really, like, find alluring, and, like, I gotta say, like, the kind of jester look, I'm not into that. I'm sorry, Mask Girl. I mean, I like you in EDH, but not here. Vampire Opportunist. Now, like organs, I do see the allure of vampires. Vampires are very sexy. But I want my any partner to have a bit of common sense and not being the kind of person who bites a rock. Just get some common sense, please. Like, really? Really? What did you think was going to happen? Also, that's not a good place to withdraw blood for someone. Like, you should know you're a vampire. Like, no. Rubble Belt Rioters. I mean, they're just fine. Like, they're a bit unkempt. Like, sure, they're, like, strong and stuff, but it's like, they're unkempt. They're just anarchists smashing stuff for the sake of smashing stuff. Like, I think, like, protesters and stuff, like, there's, like, I have nothing against, like, rioters in general, but it's, like, the Gruul riot for no good reason. Besides half-formed philosophies about, like, the over-expansion of civilization and try to demonstrate it in a way that isn't actually effective. Yeah, no, it's just meh. They're Gruul. Gruul, third least favorite guild. Third? Yeah, third. Yeah, I'm just not into it. Merfolk Skydiver. I mean, merfolk are kind of weird. Like, that would be, with those, like, the size of those fins and everything, like, that'd just be really weird in bed. And I don't know how to feel about it. And, like, I feel like their skin would feel really weird, or, like, kind of, like, scaly and, like, overly, like, smooth, and there's just a lot of off-putting. Like, I like her build. Like, she's, like, nice. Like, she has, like, a nice, like, lean strength to her. But, yeah, just a bit too alien for my taste. Ugin's Conjurant. So this one's also, like, a ghost, but does interact with, like, people a bit more, I guess. Because, and, like, it gets damaged, and sure, maybe we only get to go, like, once, but, she doesn't look like she's, I was about to say, like, 1 foot in the grave, but the Grainful Apparition was past the grave. Like, she looks like if that was just, like, a person, I'd be like, yeah, no, I mean, like, I like martial artists, I'm a martial artist, I'm into that, and, but, yeah, there's just a lot going on, and this is still the I would avoid if possible, but, yeah, it would be an interesting experience, but definitely a one-off thing. Kiora, Behemoth Beckoner. A lot of the same reasons as the last merfolk. It's just like, merfolk don't appeal to me. Like, I get the, like, the allure of them, but they're just gonna be damp, and, like, sure, she has an awesome, like, she's, like, a great look and aesthetic, and just, like, that, like, stuff, but just, like, I'm sorry, you're just not doing it for me. I'm sorry. Yeah. Vraska, Swarms Imminence. And this one has a conflicting one because I talked about my opinions on Gorgons previously. Like, the snakes are kind of weird. Like, Frasca, though, does have that very nice commanding presence that I want from a top and has that nice there. I would likely be allergic to her dress, so that is a point against her because I'm allergic to almost everything. And, like, the snake thing is kind of weird, and, like, she would probably try to murder me, but, I mean, I'd be okay with that, but, no, I wouldn't, but I'd prefer to stay alive, and, she was hotter as a pirate, I gotta say. But still, not bad. Okay, now we're going into just acceptable. I would take it. And first up we got Cruel Celebrant, which is honestly below average for vampires. Like, I'm just not a fan of the Orzhov vampire aesthetic. Like, as vampires go, they just like, it's just like loose robes, and I admire your bold choice with your like head, but that's not really, it's not my thing. I'm not going for that. Also your Orzhov, which is, it just talk against you and not like, yeah, no, it's just capitalists. You ruined vampires with capitalism. Come on. Like, just give me, like, the classically evil, like, Innistrad vampires. Like, yeah, no. Paradise Druid. I mean, she's just kind of there. There's not much going on. Yeah, she's cute, but she's just an elf. She doesn't have a lot of personality. It's just, it's not nothing against her, it's just there's nothing really that drawing about her, besides just being kind of, right? Polymer Druid, like, coming in at number, 19. I got some of my teeth. There we go. Had popcorn right before this. Polymer Druid, like, she's Celestia, which is great, and, like, that's a point in her favor, but, like, let's be honest, Celestia is not like a prime producer of tops. They're all about like community, interconnectivity, and equality, and things like that. And like, it could work, and she's cute, and like, I like what she's done of her hair, and it's a good outfit, and then I mentioned that she's Celestia, and the Celestia are the best. But yeah, no, Celestia is a guild of bottoms. Like, let's not kid ourselves. So that's just like into the work. Next we have Flux Channeler. She's a little bit more personality than like the two, the generic guild people. Like, no, I like a girl who's smart. Like, she's clearly kind of smart. Like, sure, I have my problems with the Izzet. Like, lore-wise, I find the Izzet kind of boring, but like, I have nothing against them. Like too much. Like, I just think they're a bit overhyped for what they offer. But yeah, no, she's cute. She's clearly very intelligent, and yeah, no, I Flux Channeler. But again, this is still the okay category. Like, it's totally acceptable, but not high on my lists. Next we have the Wanderer, who has a cool aesthetic, but she's just okay on my list because we don't have information about her. Like, there's only so much I can say about someone who's intentionally doesn't have any information about them. So, yeah. It's trying to apply the Nail Strengthener. Next we have Nahiri, Storm of Stone. Yeah, no, I like her look. I like the, like, sleeveless. She's very strong. But, I just feel like any relationship would be super tenuous. Like, she isn't a really good people person. Like, between spending most of her life before being stuck in the Hellvault, essentially living under the earth, just essentially keeping an eye out for things, and then she was in the Hellvault for a while and kind of went a little bit crazy. And then tried to murder a lot of people. I feel that it's very, like, she is very hot, which, point to regret it, but it is brought down by the fact that, like, there's really no great end to this relationship, and, yeah. Like, there's not much else to say. I like the ability, though, for, like, a potential girlfriend to just be able to make a sword out of anything. That's another point in her favor. She did commit genocide, though. Point against her. Next up, we have Chandra, Fire Artisan. Yeah, Chandra, I like her. She has, like, a good look. I like her personality and stuff. But, I just don't think she'd make the best top. Like, she's fun. She's, like, kind of sweet, but she's I don't know. She's just kind of there. Also, she doesn't belong with me. She belongs with Nissa, and that is where she should be. So, yes. Next, we have Duskmantle Operative, which we don't have much on her personality, but that is a good aesthetic. Like, not having a personality, like, is my nerd favorite, but, like, I like that aesthetic. It's also an aesthetic that you wouldn't bat your eye if I saw that person in Seattle. Would not question it and just like, ooh, that's a cool jacket. And, yeah, no, she's cute. Like, not much going on, but it's still just, like, acceptable. Getting into, like, the little bit nicer range. Now we're going into, yes, like, actually this, we're talking, like, this is getting kind of good, and we have 10th District Legionnaire. She, I like myself a girl in armor, and, Milefa there is a girl in armor. Like, we don't have that much about her, but, like, it's like, I have my problems with the Boros, but, yeah, no, she is, I got him with the other hand. She's good, like, fighting, like, got swords, that's pointing in her favor, and, yeah, I want to know more about her, before she makes it into, like, some of the higher slots, but, yeah. Next, we got Feather the Redeemed. Now, the Boros Angels are the one thing that, like, makes me question my loyalty to the Selesnya. Granted, that's not going anywhere, because the Selesnya, as I have said, are the best. But Feather, there's another angel on this list that goes a bit higher, but just, this is not a very flattering, like, angle for Feather. Like, we don't really see a lot of her, like, body. It's just kind of like this head-on thing, which is like a good action pose, but isn't great from the, okay, how hot is she point of view. And, yeah. Also, she has been kind of in prison for a while, so I can't imagine that she'd necessarily be, like, the best sociable state. Like, I feel bad for her. Like, she has a very sad story. But, yeah. Casmina, Enigmatic Mentor. Like I said, I like smart girls, and we don't know much about Casmina, which is, again, like, why she isn't necessarily higher, and I could see her going higher on this list once we get a bit more lore about her. But she's smart. Like, I like those robes. I like that hair. Yeah, no, wizards are cool, especially when, like, she's, like, a very wizardy wizard. But again, we just don't know enough about her. And, like, she has, like, that kind of, like, teacher vibe, and, like, I mean, that has, like, some good dynamics going on in the bedroom and stuff like that. So, I only usually do one layer of nail strengthener. Just, it's not necessarily to get, like, an overly thing. It's honestly not even necessary. I could just do top coat, but, it's not strictly necessary. But yeah, no, Casmina. Yeah. Burning Prophet. I just love her whole look. She doesn't have a lot going on with her, like she has a little bit going on with, like, story-wise. Like, she's, like, tells the future and things like that, which is, like, has some cool aspects to her. Like, she just has a great aesthetic. Like, I want a girlfriend who can make flaming skulls. And granted, she's, like, seeing the future of the Eternals and stuff, but, yeah. no, I just really dig her aesthetic, and yeah. Oh, there we go. Welcome to Lily Cannot Open Jars. Not jars, containers. I just use OPI because it's what I have around, and also it's decent quality. Narset. So Narset comes in at number 9. We're in the top 10 now. No, she's like, I like her. She's like part of the Ojutai. We still have some of that, a little bit of the continuation of like the martial art traditions of the Jeskai, which, I mean, I like a martial artist. I myself am a black belt in Taekwondo, and that's a point in her favor. She's lots of stuff. She's a awesome aesthetic going on, and I just like her. She's really cool, and I wouldn't mind to get to know her better. I don't have much to say. She's just kind of there. We're not really in the... This is still in the very, like, upper range, and not into the yes, please, yes range, which is the top tier. We're still in category 2, not number 1. Next we have Samut. Just missing the, top level, because, I just want to see where her character goes a little bit more, like, after the aftermath of the Bulls arc. Like, she doesn't have a lot going on in the lore besides, like, her home being destroyed and her whole worldview being shaken up and stuff like that. And, like, I will be really excited to see where she goes. On the flip side, she's very strong, she's tough, she's nice, and, but just misses out. Like, just... She's one that, again, another one that is like not quite enough story, and I like her in the Amonkhet story, but I just want to see where she goes from there. Now we're in the top category. First up, we got Bulwark Giant. Because Bulwark Giant is only at the bottom of the top category, the oh yes category, because she's almost problematically large. Like, I like tall girls. After about 8 feet, it becomes logistically challenging. Not impossible. Like, that's why she isn't lower. She wasn't, like, disqualified from that. But it would be something that we'd have to work out in our relationship. And I think we could move past that because she is extremely hot and also very tall. Like, yes, being taller than 8 feet has logistical challenges, but it does not diminish my attraction to tall girls. Bulwark Giant. Just like that hair. She's strong. She's saving the weak. She has awesome armor on. She's rescuing that poor goblin. Yeah. Good. Very good. Now we're talking about angels. This is one. Good thing. Like, Boros armor. Nice, like, clean armor. Lean look. Giant and practical sword. Strong. Flowing red hair. I do like redheads. Yeah, no, like that's like good art. Like, if Feather had like a build member of a pose, she would probably be up here. If Aurelia was in the set, she'd be in this category. Really stand this in for any Boros angel, because the Boros angels are extremely hot. Yes. Like, again, like, there are logistical challenges, like, you know what, in the bedroom, the wings might be a problem. That is definitely something I am aware of that might be, let's call it logistically challenging, but, it could work. Sorry, I just finished my thumb here. Vivien, Champion of the Wilds. I mean, I have very little to say. Her hair, extremely gay. Extremely good. She's so ripped. Also, she's done by Mackley, and it's just gorgeous art. Just likes nature. Like, sure, she has like some maybe, let's go with, we'll call it temperament issues when it comes to, that, but honestly, I get her. I understand a growing disdain about the march of civilization and whatnot. And you know what? I would totally be down to just, like, living in a small, like, cabin in the woods with Vivien. And she's extremely hot. And, yeah, she's just a very strong girl. And I am extremely gay. I'm sorry, I have trouble talking about extremely attractive girls. Like, also, of all the girls on this list, she by far has the gayest hair. Like, very good hair. Like, yes. Whatley, the sun's heart. A lot of the same reasons as Vivien, like, very strong. Like, she's better, I think, like, she's, like, heavier armor. Like, I like Vivien because she's, like, some exposed muscles, but, like, she's, like, clearly very strong warrior going on. But she beats out Vivien because dinosaurs. I want a girlfriend who can summon dinosaurs. That puts you in the books. If you can summon dinosaurs, give me a call. I will date you. Just summon dinosaurs. Assuming you're a girl, because I am still a lesbian. But dinosaurs, just sold. Dinosaurs. Also hot lady in armor. But dinosaurs. Kaya, Bane of the Dead. I'll be honest, it's the leather jacket. Like, she is just such a good look. Like nice, like, tight-fitting leather jacket. She's also Ghostbuster, so that's cool. Just great, like, look and everything. Like, she has, like, a good concern for people. Like, she's the kind of, like, I have a lot of problems with Orzhov, because, like, I see Orzhov as a lot of, like, I consider myself to be mono-white in a lot of ways, and I see Orzhov as kind of the corruption of everything that mono-white should stand for. Or, like, white is not necessarily mono-white, but white as a color should stand for. And Kaya does it right, where she in my eyes is, like, the evidence that, like, Orzhov, black-white as a color pairing isn't necessarily this corruption of it, but and it can exist in the space while still, like, preserving the integrity of white. It's not just abusing the positions of power and whatnot to and stability that white provides. And also, did I mention that extremely sexy leather jacket and just, like, great temperament and all that? And yes. Also, her other look is also really good. Her Orzhov Guildmaster look with, like, the cape and all that. That's just, like, I'm a little bit less gay for that, but I'm all for that aesthetic. I just breathed in some top coat fumes, so give me a moment. Number 2. Arlen, Voice of the Pack. I have not been subtle with my absolute love of Arlen. You got the leather, you have the furs, she's very ripped. Her story extremely resonates with me. Like, if you go back to, like, Shadows of Innistrad and, like, read her story, it is amazing. Also, don't worry, this is the fun I've only done the nail straightener on. It doesn't mind if you, like, mess that up a little bit, because it's going to be evened out by the top coat later. So don't worry about that. But this one's done. Woo, you can't really see it because it's just that, but it gives that nice little sheen. I'll probably do another coat after I finish recording, because I don't have time to finish all these before we're done. But Arlen, just, like, she gets me. She understands a lot of my experiences, specifically as kind of, like, an LGBT individual. Like, her story is, like, very much kind of, like, this reflection of, like, the experience of LGBTQA+ individuals within the context of being raised in the church, where it's this very much thing where it's like, I was raised in the Catholic Church, and it's reflecting where she was, like, a werewolf raised in, like, she was a werewolf raised in the Church of Adame, where she joined it and, like, fervently threw herself out that, like, trying to prove her devotion that by grace of Adame she would be cured of her affliction and stuff. And her whole arc only culminates with kind of like her being found out and all that as a werewolf, and kind of just being completely spurned and rejected by those who she just essentially dedicated her whole life to before, and then going on like Ben's years and like the Wildes and stuff, and like coming to accept who she is and accept that like it is not who I am, that like I came to hate these people because like it was just where I was raised, in that context I was raised in, and kind of that selfless like that rejection of this extreme help, like self-hatred imposed on herself. And that really resonates with me because I was raised in the Catholic Church, and I was just, it was, and even though it was like part of like a very liberal thing where it's like I wasn't in a parish that really taught like was all about like, oh yes, no, the gays must burn in hell and stuff. Like, it wasn't that, but there was enough there that like I knew that was church doctrine, and my church was otherwise amazing and good, and it was showed all these wonderful things, and I knew that's what they taught. And if such a good organization, and which wasn't actually directly thing, that the church manipulated me to do the hatred of by myself. And it's so reflected in Arlen's story, and kind of that catharsis of rejecting that image and kind of that acceptance of self-acceptance. And what I'm saying is Arlen would get me on top of being extremely hot, like, she would get me, and I understand that, and that really makes her resonate with me as a character, as a person, and shit, she's hot. And number 1, Liliana Vess. Okay, most of these are just, let's just rank them based on who I'd want to sleep with, who's hot and I'm attracted to. Liliana Vess would be the best top, by far. Like, she is a horrible person. She's done horrible things, but she does extremely care for those, and like extremely protective of like those like few people she cares about. Like, she's like extremely protective. Like, we've seen that sometimes in the stories, and kind of like her. You see it a little bit, even though it's like I'm not trying to get into like Jace Liliana discourse, but it's like she still has that very extremely protective attitude towards that, and it's just, I want to be hers. Like, she's like amazing and powerful, and she could kill me instantly, but she wouldn't, because I would show her that she's nice, and also it avoids all the things like, oh look, it's the couple, Lily and Liliana, because they wouldn't make that joke because A, it's Liliana Vess, and they wouldn't make that joke because why would you try to make fun of Liliana Vess? And B, if they did, she would murder them, just murder them. So it's not a problem. So, like, powerful, protective, territorial, still very hot. Yeah. And there's goodness inside her, and that's nice, too. Okay, maybe not goodness. There's decentness inside her, but, yeah, she may not be a good person, but she would be good to me, and, yeah. I really can't elaborate this more without getting a bit too personal in my personal fantasies, but, yeah, Liliana. This video was a mistake. I ended up just not being very articulate at all in my reasonings for any of them. Wow. It's actually kind of interesting where only a couple years ago, my opinion of Liliana was much different. And my change in opinion of Liliana, from really delving into her story when I started like cosplaying Liliana, at least when it was like, sure I was cosplaying and posing like Heretical Healer, which is like very much young Liliana, but and just kind of like the getting that like cosplay is getting that like seed of empathy and and really have her grow as a character for me internally, and seeing like her point of view and really getting into that, which otherwise I found like to be which actually found her a very unsympathetic character, and really using that and like internalizing that and studying it for both like just pouring over the stories and also just like trying to scour story stuff to like find like any hints for like costuming stuff. But yeah, no, it's she's hot. Like, not hot in the same way that Arlen's hot, because Arlen's hot because she has an amazing body and an amazing aesthetic. Liliana is hot because she's confident. She just exudes just like power and strength, and she also has great eyebrows, just top-notch eyebrows, and yeah. Only point against Liliana is that it does say that her castle in Innistrad does kind of stink because of all the zombies. Like, that's her one point where it's like, okay, maybe we can do something to work this out because I don't want it to smell like rotting corpses everywhere. Like, it does say that she like keeps like the most rotting ones outside, but still, like, we might have to do something about that. And that's just like the one point against her. But she just needs to take some of the Eternals back because they won't rot and they won't have to deal with the smell issue, and just use a small contingent of Eternals back at her place on Innistrad, and we're solid. We're good. Works out great. And who knows, you never know when you might want like an Oketra and standby in your backyard. Like, sometimes you'll just need Oketra. Who knows? What else are you going to do with her? It's probably more reasonable to have her on Innistrad than it is in the middle of Ravnica. No. Girls. This video was a mistake. I only even got one hand done. But I'm gonna call it here, because this was just a ramble of how much I like girls. But I'm sorry that I subjected you to this. Well, I hope you all have a wonderful night. And I hope you sleep well. And may your story smile upon you.